Craig, obviously not the start you wanted. Was it much more beyond not taking your chances in front of goal, and especially in that third term?
Yeah, well, this is a game where you need to capitalise on your momentum. There's periods of the game we thought we had momentum, and inaccurate kicking does hurt. It certainly hurts when you winning inside 50s, and then I think we missed 7 shots on the run. Like those chances you got to take against good opposition.
In that third term, you sort of peppering at least the inside 50s, if not the goals, and the Giants were then able to burst forward and get a couple on the counter-attack almost. Were you able to try and set up, know that was coming, or how do you deal with that?
No, well, you can see how their style of play, they're trying to just build the game up a bit faster than what they were doing. We're trapping them in their forward half well, but what you get there is a lot of density. So when we win the ball back, you're going back to density. And then when they win it, they're going into a bit more space. We were well aware of what we needed to do. The game itself, their strengths of running and carry, and yes, for everyone to see from previous years. Again, we had patches of game. You watch this game, you'll see it. We had patches of dominance, and we just didn't connect.
It looked like towards the end of the second quarter there, you had a bit of a verbal conflict with Adam Kingsley on the bench. Can you explain a bit what happened?
I was having a bit of fun with King. He's an old mate of mine. I was just staring up and said, "We're coming," and he just had a bit of fun. He's a bit fiery than me. I'm a bit more humorous.
Did it stem though from? It looked like in the vision that it might have stemmed from a celebration of a 50-metre penalty.
I'd like to celebrate all the little things. No, nothing to it. If you want to make it a story, it's nothing story, but.
Are you a bit worried now that obviously we saw what happened with Ken in that final against, but that's something that could be looked at?
Honestly, we're old colleagues, and I was just having a bit of fun with him. If it's more than that, we shake hands at the end of the game and I said, we'll see you next time we play.
Some sort of players out there today. How are they? Have you come out unscathed?
Yeah, well, this is the time of the year that you can prepare yourself for this, the early season, but then you get yourself in a position where you get feedback, and then you've got to do it again 6 days later. We're excited to get back to our fans, back at the MCG. Dan Houston's ready to go, playing his old team. So we've got to lick our wounds and just move quickly. This is AFL footy. You play good opposition away from home in hot conditions, and we're well and truly prepared for this. The draw was out a long time ago, and we know what's coming.
Obviously, Nick Dacos looked like he was in a bit of trouble out there. Can you share a bit more on?
I just think it was cramped, to be honest. I think a few of our players were cramping. It's 28 degrees out there. It's pretty hot.
Must have been sort of bad timing, given the sub had already gone on, and he looked like.
Oh no, we were aware that Nick's cramping, and at half time, and we were pretty determined. Unfortunately, Will had a sore back at half time, which we were sort of trying to see if we can get some more minutes out of him, but. Sort of had to reshuffle from that.
Nick was obviously a bit limited in what he could do in that final term, at least seems to be. Kind of look at a different role for him or something to help him get into the game a bit?
Well, that's what we try to do. We try to take him out of the middle and then let him get the minutes through, because one there's him struggling a little bit, and then if he comes off the ground, there's another load for others. So we're just within reason, we're trying to look after him and look after others. I think he's pulled up fine. It's just a matter of now getting himself ready.
First half, were you pretty pleased with how he was still able to see plenty of the ball, even though Toby Bedford had gone to him pretty hard?
I'll have to watch the tape on the impact of the game. I think as a collective, as a team, we like to be system and roles and that, and we'll look at what works for the best for the team around those things when players get tagged and trying to create things for others. And Nick's a pretty important piece in where we're going.
Isaac Quainer just looked to be in the hands of the doctors towards the end of the last quarter. Is there an update on his condition?
No, I think he just got a heavy knock, like how we got a heavy knock. All able to finish the game out, they should be fine.
There's been a lot of talk about Finn Callaghan from GWS in the pre-season, and he's shown exactly why there's been so much talk about him. What do you make of his performance today?
I guess they're really good players. They got clearly got a couple of key pieces out today, so we saw a bit of an opportunity in what was out, but I thought their backline was sensational. They defended the ground really well. Sort of beat us in the air in our forward half of the ground, which then made it difficult. We got some feedback today, and we'll get back to work, and looking forward to what's coming next.
How much does Geordie bring if he comes back into the side next week, both in terms of what he brings as a player, but structurally, I guess, does he free up some other players to do some other things?
Geordie's a pretty important player, pretty good player. I think anyone that says, like today they had Green out, I think he's their best midfielder. They'll be going, geez, that's exciting to bring him back. it's always that balance, isn't it? Like you win and you got Green out, and you lose and you got Geordie to come in. There's always that excitement for what's potentially a solution. He's got a bit of work to do to get up, but we'll see how that goes.
Are you confident that he will?
I think it's touch and go at the moment. We'll have to assess that. He's training really well. We'll see where it lands.
Obviously, in the first quarter today, we saw Kieran Briggs go out.
Yeah.
A lot of talk in the pre-season about players being injured after being pushed into a marking contest. It looked like Darcy Cameron did, but it didn't look malicious at all, more like a football act. What do you
Yeah,
I
I hope he's okay. I did see a picture of him. I hope he's okay. And, we don't want to see anyone injured, particularly in a contest like that. I'll have to look at the footage of that. It's a shame he went off the ground. He's an important player for him as well. Just while I got a chance, can I just send our best wishes to those in Queensland and far north New South Wales for everything that's going on up there. A lot of Collingwood supporters up there. I know my parents up there, my family and friends. I'm just wishing you all the best in this time.
We obviously heard your support for opening round a bit earlier in the week. I mean, it was a really good crowd here again today.
I hate it now.
You must have been happy again with how, obviously, again, not the result that you would have wanted in opening round, but it was a great atmosphere here.
Yeah, I think it's easy to judge it from afar, but when you've lived in the northern states, anything that can promote the game up here is really, really opportunist. And I'm all for the promotion of the whole brand of the game. I'd like to see other teams come up here a bit more too. Like whether it's us next year, I'm not sure, but I think the balance of having games up here, whether it's a big crowd or membership, it all flows back into all of us. You can get selfish and protect your own patch, but when the whole game grows, I think we all get the fruits of that.
So just going back to the marking contest, is that something that you feel worried that the AFL should be looking into about players?
Look, I'll have to have a look at it and make more of a judgment during the week. But from what I saw on the replay, just on the screen, it just looked like a football incident. But again, I could be wrong.
What did you make of Harry Perryman making his club debut against his former teammates? Yeah,
Harry's one of those guys that just turns up and just does his thing. Very workmanlike. I think he had 27 possessions, and we moved him back just for a little bit of structure in the last quarter, and then missed his run and his outnumber at the contest. So good start from Harry. We're wrapped to have him in our colours.
And Tim Embry, first look at playing alongside Dan McStay and Mike Jack as well. How do you see that sort of working?
Oh, look, we're a work in progress. Yeah, you'd argue that we didn't connect well forward of the ball, and it's you look at all the numbers of our forwards, they're all sort of low numbers and low impacts in the game. So we've got to look at how we can connect the ground and make those guys to be able to shine a little bit more. I think we're a work in progress.
Just a quick one on Will. You mentioned back for him. How's he after the game?
I think he's right. He's just stiffened up. So then obviously it's pretty hard to play this game. We've got to stiff back. So we're probably going to do that call a little bit early, but we just wanted to see it out to the end and see if it was at that stage in the game, the game was right in the balance. I think he should be fine.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.